What if you could save nearly half your income without giving up your life? That's exactly what I did. I used to feel broke every month, even with a good income and a budget. I wasn't reckless. I just couldn't figure out where my money was going. Fast forward, I've cut my spending by 45%. And guess what? I still get takeaways, travel, and treat myself. And I feel better than ever. No extreme budgeting, no guilt, just smart, simple changes that actually work. In this video, I'll show you how I did it step by step. By the end, you'll know exactly how to cut your expenses without feeling restricted, so you can spend on what truly matters. Let's get into it. When people hear budget, they think no lattes, no fun, no life. But that's outdated. Smart saving isn't about deprivation. It's about alignment. You can absolutely spend money. You just stop wasting it on stuff that doesn't make your life better. One book that changed my mindset was Your Money or Your Life. It asks, are you trading your life energy for stuff you don't even value? And I was. For ages, I justified spending because I deserved it. Bad day, treat. Tough week, double treat. But most of that spending, it wasn't even making me happy. It was just on autopilot. The trick isn't to stop spending, it's to spend better. Once I made that shift, saving money actually felt good. Once I reframed saving as cutting waste, not cutting joy, I faced the numbers. Before, I was spending 300 quid on takeaways, £89 on random subscriptions, and 500 quid on impulse buys a month. And honestly, I didn't even feel good about it. I was getting into financial trouble, and half of that spending didn't add anything to my life. So I did a 30-day tracking challenge. I didn't change anything. I just observed. And it was a total eye-opener. And research backs this up. Studies show tracking your spending makes you more intentional, even if you don't try to change it. And 2 weeks in, I was already spending less just by paying attention. I realized my spending wasn't aligned with my values. It was just happening. So I made intentional choices. And now here's what my spending looks like. £100 a month on takeaways, only when it feels worth it. 15 quid on subscriptions. I just kept the ones that I actually used. And £100 to impulse shopping, thanks to my 24-hour rule. That's 45% cut. And I don't even feel deprived. I feel free. Every pound I spend now actually adds value. If your money's vanishing every month, try tracking it for 30 days. Don't even change anything. Just see where it's going. You'll be shocked. Here's my 3-step process for cutting unnecessary expenses. Step 1, track every pound for 30 days. Track without judgment. Just notice. I tracked every penny and it worked. The study I mentioned before found that people who consistently track their expenses gain critical feedback on their spending patterns, enabling them to evaluate and adjust their financial goals effectively. Step 2, sort spending into 3 buckets. I split everything into essentials like rent, bills and food, joyful spending like hobbies, socializing and travel, and mindless spending, stuff I didn't use or enjoy. I discovered I was spending over £300 a month on takeaways, usually out of convenience rather than enjoyment. And I had subscriptions of £85 a month that I hadn't even used in ages. Step 3 was to cut the mindless stuff. This is where the savings came in. I cancelled old subscriptions and saved 85 quid a month. I waited 24 hours before buying, and this stopped £400 a month worth of impulse shopping. And I cut back on takeaways, which saved me at least £200 a month. It was a total game changer. Just from those 3 changes, subscriptions, impulse buys, and takeaways, I slashed hundreds of pounds per month without feeling deprived. Now that I cut the mindless spending, I wanted to go further, but without making life miserable. So I focused on 4 things that kept my spending low while still letting me enjoy life. Number 1, renegotiate your bills. Go through your bills and call every provider. I save 15 quid on broadband and £5 on my phone plan just by asking. Don't sleep on this one. The book's 2 Income Trap warns that high fixed costs like bills creates high financial stress. Lowering these means more freedom with your money. If you haven't checked your bills in a while, you could be overpaying without realizing it. Number 2, Monzo pots for guilt-free spending. I didn't want to feel like I was constantly saying no to myself. So I used Monzo pots, digital envelopes for things like eating out and shopping. And once they was empty, that's it. Weirdly, seeing these pots grow made me want to spend less, not more. This system has really worked for me. It gives me total control over my spending while still letting me enjoy my money. Number 3, the pause rule. Impulse shopping used to be, and still is, my weakness. So I use the pause rule. I wait 24 hours, and if I wouldn't pay double, I don't buy it. I also ask myself, am I just online shopping because I'm fed up, bored, or stressed? And is this a genuine, I want this? Or am I just chasing a dopamine hit? This rule alone has saved me hundreds a month. Number 4, frugal luxury. This is probably my favorite one. Instead of cutting everything, I made sure that every pound I spent felt worth it. Luxury doesn't mean expensive. It means intentional. So I cut out takeaways. Instead of expensive takeaways, I now get a treat meal. Right now is a cheese twist and tomato soup from Lidl. Same comfort, but a fraction of the price. I've purposely stopped spending on clothes because they were my go-to impulse purchase. I have more than enough, and honestly, I don't even care about them. I still spend on travel, books, and experiences. Like tomorrow, I'm taking my nieces and nephews to the Museum of Illusions. It's so much more fun and fulfilling than a pointless clothes haul. This works because cutting these costs out doesn't feel like punishment. I get to spend my money on things that actually make my life richer. Now, cutting out expenses is great, but only if you're doing it right. A lot of people try to save money but end up feeling miserable and giving up entirely. I know because I've made these exact mistakes myself. Mistake number 1 is cutting too hard. Burnout is real. I tried going super frugal. I lasted 2 months. Then I split. Mistake number 2, budgeting without tracking. Budgeting only works if you track it. Otherwise, it's just wishful thinking. Mistake number 3, feeling guilty for spending. If something brings joy or meaning, own it. Guilt doesn't build wealth. Conscious spending does. Even if you get your budget under control, there's one thing that can completely throw you off track: social pressure to spend. And trust me, I've been there. You know the situation. Your friends plan a fancy dinner, a bottomless brunch, or a big weekend trip, and suddenly you're stuck between wanting to say yes, but knowing that it'll blow your budget. I used to feel like I had to say yes to everything. And even when I didn't really want to go, I still end up spending because I didn't want to seem boring or cheap. I once spent 150 quid on a ABBA bingo night just not to seem boring. I hated every second, but that night was the lesson. Spend to enjoy, not to fit in. Your money or your life explains how social pressure skews our spending habit. We often spend to feel accepted, not because we actually want something. The solution I found was the reframe method. Instead of saying, I can't afford it, I now say, I'm choosing to spend differently. This simple shift changed everything. Saying I can't afford it makes it sound like you don't have a choice. Saying I'm choosing to spend differently puts you in control and makes it about your priorities, not your bank balance. When I first started cutting my expenses, I just wanted to stop feeling broke. But what I didn't expect was how much lighter and in control I feel. Now, instead of stressing about money, I have more financial freedom and way less pressure. The money I used to waste now builds my wealth. I feel lighter, more in control, and finally free. So if you want to start cutting your expenses without giving up life, here's how. Track your spending for 30 days and sort it. Essentials, joy, waste. Cut the waste. Spend intentionally. Start small, and you'll be amazed at how fast things add up. And that's how I cut my expenses by 45% without giving up life. If this helped, give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments what's one thing you're cutting back on this month. YouTube thinks you'll love this video next, so I'll see you there.